Meanwhile, one of the petitioners against EDCA may seek the reversal of the Supreme Court ruling. This and other details from Freddie Abando.
23 years after the Senate terminated the basis agreement between the Philippines and the United States, two of its key installations, Clark and Subic, were developed as special economic zones. From 1991 to 2015, these former military installations were staging points by U.S. forces for joint Balikatan exercises and disaster response. The U.S. Navy has made regular port calls in Subic for repair and resupply. With the Supreme Court ruling declaring the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement constitutional, Clark and Subic are two of the 8 military bases and camps where U.S. forces may be deployed in the future on a rotational basis all year round. The United States will construct the facilities to pre-position their forces and equipment. House Defense Committee member Congressman Ashley Asedillo stressed there is no permanent basing of U.S. troops.
I am confident that both the Philippine government, through the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces, as well as their American counterparts, will be cognizant of the limitations as brought about by the Visiting Forces Agreement and the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. I don't think it is in the best interest of either party to go beyond the parameters of the VFA and the EDCA, because any such attempt, I think, would lead to the abrogation of this agreement. We made it very clear during our deliberations in Congress that the Philippine government was open to some infusion of American funds, because definitely some of our camps and bases will need to be refurbished in order to host the kind of equipment and forces that the United States will be sending on a limited rotational capacity. There would be some corresponding equity on the part of the Philippines as well, because in the end, the beneficiary of this facilities improvement and the base improvements will still be the Philippines.
The Supreme Court ruling states the EDCA provides for arrangements to implement existing treaties to allow the entry of U.S. forces. The Visiting Forces Agreement, not EDCA, is the instrument that permits U.S. forces and facilities in the country. Former Senator Rene Sagisag, one of the petitioners to declare the EDCA unconstitutional, who also voted for the termination of U.S. bases in 1991, may file an appeal to reverse the High Tribunal's ruling, but doubts if his move may prevail. Sagisag sees the possibility of U.S. deployment of its forces in areas of the country disputed by China, to include the Scarborough Shoal and the Ayungin Shoal.
If it was the right thing, it was done in the wrong way. Unconstitutional. Kaya tama din si Miriam, nag-file sila ng resolution na please padaanan nyo sa amin. Dahil kung pinadaan naman sa Senado, baka lulusot din. It would be neater, walang question sa constitutionality, but ito dapat pamahalaan ng nakararami. Kung nakonsulta ang bayan, no, dapat yan hindi gagamitin yung mga existing military facilities natin. Wala nang lugar yan Maguinaldo. Doon ko sila ilalagay sa Scarborough. Doon sila magtayo ng base kasi we'll have to be ready to die to the last American. Saan ilalagay sila? Yung mga kampo rito, ang mag-relocate na rin. Kaya doon sila sa hasa-hasa, doon sa Ayungin.
Meantime, Bayan Muna Congressman Nery Colmenares doubts if EDCA's implementation with the rotational deployment of U.S. forces will contain China's creeping aggression. As Asedillo stressed, EDCA is a major boost for the country's protection of its territorial waters and ensure the free flow of trade in the West Philippine Sea.
China kept on occupying our territory in the West Philippine Sea despite the VFA. So it's not true. EDCA was signed more than a year ago. China's already built an airstrip in the West Philippine Sea. What did the U.S. do? We have EDCA already for more than a year. So it's not just now. So the U.S. didn't even lift a finger.
It should neither be construed as an act of aggression or an act of escalation, nor should it be construed as an act denigrating from a long-standing historical alliance between the U.S. and the Philippines. And I would like that this latest ruling and the corresponding green light that shall be given to the EDCA, I'd like this to be seen as nothing more than a continuation of the long-standing relationship, especially along defense lines between the Philippines and the United States.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.